I'm going to ask you one of the hardest questions that you've probably been asked this year. When was the last time that you actually sat down and made a difficult decision about where your life is heading? Like, actually think about that. Because most likely, if you're like most people, you've been letting your surroundings, maybe your boss, your friends, your family, external things, dictate where your life is heading. Because every single time that you have a hard decision to make and you decide to push it off, you decide to not do something about it right now, you decide to not decide in the moment, what you're doing is you're making a decision. And that decision is to let everything around you, external circumstances, to guide you towards where you're gonna end up. And that's where you are, that's why you are where you're at in your life right now. This is so hard to understand. It took me way too long to actually understand this myself. When I was broke, trying to make it, living at home with my parents, is that I was at so many different stages, faced with decisions to make. And I pushed it off. I didn't decide. And every single time I ended up in a position where that decision was made by someone else. My parents' beliefs, my friends, people that I was just surrounded with, they made those decisions for me. And that's why I had a life I didn't want. My life changed when I started making hard decisions. I learned how to make difficult decisions on my own to actually get where I want to go. And I start taking control of my life. And most of y'all, you're not doing this shit right now. Your life is where it's at because of people that are around you, people that are like outside of your control, which is kind of insane to think about. But it's going to be that way until you start making hard decisions. You need to take back that control and become the person who's going to dictate where your life ends up, and start today making your own decisions. And that's when your life starts changing.